now, right now. Right 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 now, right now. Oh, I got a real good feeling.
We try to bring you high-quality educational and informational content every single day. Why do you think the price is having such an anemic time? The news story of the hour. Jump onto the chart. Is this the beginning of a massive financial unraveling? We gotta add a little addendum to the show map today, so we start here on the daily. Now, we've been looking at the RSI on Bitcoin's daily chart for the last several days. It always has been, but it's been increasing over the last 50 years since the government has been. Hey guys, what's going on? Jeb here, and welcome back to Coffee and Crypto Live. This is your weekday morning show where we bring you the latest in everything Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. And in today's episode, we are going to be talking about how Bitcoin is heading up. That's right, we've got a big rally coming to Bitcoin in not a long amount of time, because I think that Bitcoin is going to be on its way to $100,000 very, very soon. We've got continued bullishness in the Bitcoin market. We've got continued bullishness in the United States S&P 500. The stock market, gold is doing well, and we've got a massive amount of enthusiasm in this space right now. The tension in the air is absolutely palpable. And today, we are going to begin with our analysis of where Bitcoin is going to be heading and when it's going to hit $100,000. If you're new here, my name is Jeb McAfee. Welcome to the stream. I've been doing technical analysis on the cryptocurrency market almost every single day for over 7 years now. In fact, this YouTube channel will be turning 7 years old in about a week and a half on November 16th. So stay tuned, because I'm really looking forward to celebrating the 7th birthday with you guys. We've got a lot to cover today, so we're not going to take a long time getting into it. But the first thing I want to let you know is how important it is for us to figure out our why. You're in cryptocurrency for a reason, but I've got a feeling most of you don't know exactly what it is. You just kind of vaguely know it's something like, nah. You sound like you just woke up from a wild night. You have no idea what it is. You know it's vague, it's over there somewhere. That's why I'm here. But you can't put your finger on it. I'll tell you exactly why I'm here. Because I have watched financial mismanagement devastate families my entire life. And I don't want that to happen to mine. That's why I'm here. That's why I do what I do. Is because I've watched the mismanagement of money, the lack of investment, the lack of budgeting, the lack of financial sovereignty lead to chaos in countless families, including my own. And I don't want that anymore. I don't want hell in my house. As for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. The buck stops here with me, yours truly. I can see myself on my computer down here. You know, I got my MacBook right here that everything's running through. I can see myself. You, Jeb, buck stops with you. It ends now. Whatever kind of hell and chaos is going on in our family, it stops, and it begins to stop through repentance. So whatever we've got to do to get our life under control, on track, and growing, we need to do that, and we need to do that right now. That's my why. I don't want hell in my life. I don't want any part of it. And so that is what we are here to do. So together, let's do that. Shout out to everybody in chat. Daniel J in chat. Joe Bollier's in chat. Christina Orozco is in chat. Coin Operator Marquez. Gibran? Not sure if it's hard or a soft A. Gibran. Zamir's in chat. Cox family is in chat. Bjorn BCY. Joseph is in chat. Said, good morning. Happy blessed Thursday for you and your beautiful family. Thank you so much. Called out. Said, Ayo, what's up? Richard Cleveland in chat. Bart CK. Blasnik. Lori. Wreck the Bears. Called out. Everybody else in chat, CK, welcome to the stream. Everybody who's here, thank you so much for being here. Lord bless you, and let's get started. Bitcoin is currently trading at $75,284, and we are definitely on our way up. In fact, if we look at the chart here, we may even be on our way up right now as we speak. Bitcoin is trading at $75,345. A rally very much seems to be imminent. This movement right here is telling. I, as I said, have been analyzing this market almost every single day for a very, very long time. very long time. Over half of the existence of the Bitcoin market, I've been analyzing this market on a nearly daily basis. For about 3.5 years, I analyzed it literally every single day. 7 days a week, we uploaded a video on the Bitcoin market, nonstop. And so I have seen exactly this pattern, I don't know how many countless dozens of times, this pattern, where Bitcoin has a bounce, starts slow, has a big takeoff, small correction, breaks through a little bit slower. It's not as big of a second wave, but it's there. And a lot of times when you see this, I don't know what to call it. There's no name for this formation, but where we just see this, just slow rally, fast rally, slow rally, medium rally, correction, then break. This next wave normally ends up being big. I can't even put my finger on where I've seen it. I just remember it. I've seen it a bunch of times. That's one of the reasons that people come and watch our channel, is because I've seen this before. Whatever we're witnessing, I've generally watched it happen a dozen times by now. And that's what we're seeing right now. I've seen this happen before. And generally what happens is the Bitcoin has a big breakout. When you are in the market for long enough, you develop a lion's intuition. And it's important to listen to it. I used to call it gut feeling, right? There's a gut feeling. There's an intuition. What do you recognize? And eventually, not when you just start, but eventually that intuition is trained enough to where you ought to pay attention to it. You ought to listen to it. And my intuition right now is telling me very clearly that a breakout is coming and that we're going to want to be very careful to prepare well for this. Proper preparedness prevents poor performance, which is why we developed the financial sovereignty way, that you may be prepared for when a compelling opportunity presents itself, that you may be prepared for proper performance. Yes? Cool. Peter Piker picked a peck of pickled peppers. If Peter Piker picked a peck of pickled peppers, how many pickled peppers did Peter Piker pick? Proper preparedness prevents poor performance, so make sure that you complete your preparedness so that you may perform properly. Yes? Awesome. Let's look at some analysis here. Bitcoin is currently on its way up. On the hourly chart, it looks like we're about to see a bullish MACD cross. We are also seeing RSI cross above the 14 interval moving average as Bitcoin moves on its way up here, breaking once again through $75,500 right before our very eyes. Our current all-time high was set actually less than 24 hours ago here at $76,578. We are continuing to put bullish momentum into the market right now, and we are continuing to break the all-time high in a medium sense. Our all-time high was here. It was set many months ago, back in March. Bitcoin smashed it and went to an original all-time high in this movement over the last week of $75,300 and some dollars. Bitcoin then once again smashed through that movement yesterday, through that high yesterday, and rallied up to $76,578. And today it looks like Bitcoin may well be on its track to do that once again. Notice Bitcoin has gone on an enormous rally here. A rally of about 15%, roughly $10,000. And from that rally, Bitcoin only corrected $2,000. The correction was 20% the size of the rally. That relationship shows you the strength of the bulls. When we see the market rally $10,000 and then corrects $9,000, that shows you that the bulls are not that much more in control than the bears. But when you see that the bulls are literally 5 times stronger than the bears, and you look at the correlation between the rally and the correction, then you understand the strength of the bulls and the bears, which is, in fact, why we built the Crypto Jeb Oscillator. If you guys don't know about CJO, the Crypto Jeb Oscillator, you can find it by going to luxalgo.com/Jeb. You can also find it here on Coffee and Crypto every morning because we read it, and it is designed to measure the strength of the bulls versus the bears. You can see it right here. This is how strong the bulls were when we were going through this major rally. This is how strong the bears have been. See the difference? The correlation there? Virtually enormous. Virtually non-existent, the strength of the bears, massive the strength of the bulls. The relationship there could not be more plain. And so where does that lead us? That leads us to this conclusion that Bitcoin is probably about to break $76,578 with quite a bit of enthusiasm, and if it does it even one more time, I think we may be off to the races. The reason for that is because $75,000 was originally our high, but Bitcoin was able to punch through it, which we told you on Wednesday was going to be significant. And since that occurred, we have been watching Bitcoin spend time above 75. You see, the thing about $75,000 is the same thing that we witnessed with $50,000 when we originally rallied up to it back here when we first came up to this level. $50,000 and a few other levels. It's a big even, and it is strong. In fact, we also saw it here with $70,000. If we go back on the hourly chart, when we originally hit, I think it was $70,000, if memory serves correctly, we spent a good bit of time trying to break through it, and we hit literally exactly $70,000. Right here, exactly 70K. Exactly 70K. We could not break through it because people have their sell orders at $70,000. They type it in, right? Think about the trading experience. You type in your where your order placement is going to be on a limit on a limit order, right? They typed in $70,000, so there was a massive sell wall, literally at $70,000 and 0 cents, not $69,995 like you're buying a new 3,500, but $70,000 flat. And we've seen the same thing happen here at $75,000. People had typed in $75,000 on their limit orders, but that wall, which was kind of the line in the sand, this is exactly where that line is. It got broken. We punched through it right here. This candle wick that we see right here at 1 a.m. November the 6th, as we were watching the results from the United States presidential election roll in by 1 a.m., it was obvious that Donald Trump was going to win. Millen, out of the Kamala Harris campaign, sent out a message, an email saying, "Go home and get some rest." That was the white flag. We knew by 1 a.m. that Donald Trump had won the election, which we now know is a very bullish fact for the Bitcoin market. When we broke above 75K, even though this candle wick only lasted a few minutes, it showed us that 75K couldn't hold. In the same way that Kamala Harris's campaign was waving the white flag, the bears were doing the same. And in the same way that roughly at 1 a.m., Mellon was sending out a message that didn't exactly say we've lost, but it was obvious what it meant. In the same hour, this small candle wick, which did not obviously tell us that we were on our way to $100,000 and that the bears had capitulated, if you can read between the lines, indicated that that is exactly what was coming. And so the next day, when we rallied to $76,500, we did the same thing. We gave ourselves Bitcoin, the bulls gave us a confidence that a massive rally that we've been looking forward to for quite some time was coming. And that's what you've got to read here. That wick and this, albeit small, rally tell us everything that we need to know to answer the question on the table today, which is how are we going to get to $100,000? Before we can answer the question of how we're going to get to $100,000, we've got to answer the question, are we going to? I believe this wick and these 3 1-hourly candle bodies tell us the answer to that question, and the answer is yes. $100,000 is coming to Bitcoin, and it's probably coming to Bitcoin even sooner than we thought it was. It may even be coming to Bitcoin before the end of the year. So let's back up. Let's do some market analysis on where we are right now. Weekly chart. MACD has crossed bullish. Last time we did that was here, October the 16th, 2023, and that was the last time that we saw this occur over the zero line. We would see the MACD go on to rally enormously through March, and that corresponded with a rally on Bitcoin of 172%. Bitcoin rallied $46,000. Now, are we going to see 173% happen again? Probably not. Could we see $46,000 happen again? Yes, we could. That's about $1 trillion in market capitalization. About half of that occurred before the ETF launched in anticipation of the ETF. About another half happened even after the ETF occurred, even after the ETFs were approved, which they are now in motion. They are able to be recommended by RIAs, registered investment advisors. They are able to be recommended by CFPs, certified financial planners. And so we've got a lot of Wall Street interested in Bitcoin right now. They're just waiting for the call. They're just waiting for their RIA, for their CFP to pick up the phone, call them, say, buy. Like Bogdanov, right? Buy. Except this time, he's not going to get wrecked. He's going to get rich. Because the last time that we saw a Bitcoin MACD cross above the zero line, Bitcoin rallied $46,000. Which, yeah, that's only one data point. Well, the last time we saw a Bitcoin MACD cross bullish before that was August of 2022. After that movement, we continued into a correction for a while, but we would end up rallying in grand total $9,500, a 42% movement. Split the difference, call it an 80% movement from where we are right now. That may be a little bit aggressive, but it'll give us an idea of what Bitcoin is capable of right now. I know that there are diminishing returns, but there's at least $1 trillion in play here. An 80% movement for Bitcoin. An 80% movement for Bitcoin would put Bitcoin at $135,000 to $140,000. Jeb, that's not possible. How about this? The value of the U.S. stock market today. The value, the market cap of the United States stock market. Let me pull this up. If I were to estimate, would be in the range of $50 trillion. According to Siblis Research, let's do some research here on stream. According to Siblis Research, the Fortune 500 market capitalization as of mid-year, so this is actually several months ago, so it's even larger than this now. Fortune 500 market cap in U.S. was $48 trillion. The equities market entirely is $55 trillion. So we're looking, and there's been growth since then. I mean, that's the end of June, right? At the end of June, the U.S. S&P 500 was sitting right. So let's just do some simple math here. The S&P 500 was sitting at 542. The S&P 500 has grown 10% since then. So let's add 10% to that. So we're looking at the U.S. markets alone, equity markets. We're looking at $60 trillion. Well, U.S. equity markets make up about 1/4 of global markets, which means global equity markets are looking at 1/4 of $1 quadrillion in valuation. 1/4 of $1 quadrillion, $250 trillion market capitalization is the higher range. $150 to $250 trillion is the rough estimate market capitalization of the entire equities market globally. Bitcoin is worth $1.5 trillion. In other words, for Bitcoin to move $50,000 adds $1 trillion of market capitalization. $50,000 adds only $1 trillion of market capitalization. So, remind me, would it be insane for Bitcoin to add $1 trillion in market capitalization? I don't think so. But what does $1 trillion in market capitalization get us on Bitcoin? It gets us $50,000. That would put Bitcoin at $125,000. Well, Jeb, where's Bitcoin going to find $1 trillion? Oh, I don't know. Let's connect the dots here. We've got $250 billion in equities markets, which, by the way, people have just made an absolute killing. They've made an absolute killing in the S&P 500. They've made an absolute killing in equities. They've made an inordinate amount of money. In a year, S&P is up 45%. In that time, we've added, according to this data over here, we've added at least $10 trillion in market capitalization. More probably, we've added $25 trillion in market capitalization. Bitcoin is considered a risk-on asset, which means when the stock market is doing well, investors will then invest in risk-on assets. When the stock market is doing poorly, then they invest in risk-off assets like bonds. When the market is doing well, they invest in risk-on assets like Bitcoin. When the market is doing poorly, they invest in risk-off assets like bonds and high-yield savings accounts and treasuries. We're in a risk-on market right now because the market is exploding, and we also know that the market considers Donald Trump's victory to be a bullish event, and by turn, considers Donald Trump's presidency to be a bullish event. How do we know that? Because the market told us when it rallied 4%, added over $1 trillion in market capitalization, probably more like 2 or 2.5, 3, in the first 48 hours of his election. The market voted for Trump, 6 million popular votes, 5 million popular votes ahead of Kamala, and the United States markets voted for Donald Trump. because they rallied. We did not see a crash. We saw a rally. The United States economy, like it, hate it, agree, disagree, pink, purple, blue, white, yellow, red, indigo, violet, I don't care. The market decided that Trump being elected was a bullish event. And so what does that mean? Well, we've got 4 years of him. That means that people are looking forward to the next 4 years, which means that we are looking at a bullish catalyst that's going to last 4 years, in other words. So the financial planners are considering that the next 4 years are going to be bullish for the Bitcoin market. Now, of course, we've got to see what policy comes out, what policy decisions there are, what policy impacts occur. But generally, RIAs, CFPs right now are thinking Trump 1 is good for the U.S. stock market, which means that if we have a bullish stock market, then we should see spillover into the Bitcoin market. This all ties back into those two little candlesticks that I showed you. This candle wick and this breakout right here. That combined with the fundamental analysis tells me that $100,000 is now coming, and for the first time ever, I can say with confidence that it's coming soon. Which is why you came here, because you wanted to know why that's going to happen. I'm going to tell you why that's going to happen. Because $1 trillion used to be a lot of money. When I was in middle school, the United States had $15 trillion of debt. Now it's got almost 40. $1 trillion just ain't what it used to be. Just ain't what it used to be. Used to be a lot of money. Now it's chump change. Now you just turn your pockets inside out and it falls in the cracks of the sidewalk, right? No. It's still a lot of money to little old you and me down here being the plebeians. You know, we're not up there with the, with the man in the high castle. But it ain't what it used to be. $1 trillion is not as hard to find as it used to be. There are now, goodness, I don't know how many companies worth $1 trillion. 8? Go to company's market cap. There's 8. Okay, yes, there's 8. NVIDIA, Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Alphabet, Saudi Aramco, Meta, and TSMC. That's a chip manufacturer. Saudi Aramco is the largest oil driller on planet Earth, corporate. They are owned by Saudi Arabia. There are 8 companies worth over $1 trillion. And there are a lot of companies that'll be worth over $1 trillion, likely within just the next 24 months. Walmart, JP Morgan Chase, Visa, Tesla will be worth over $1 trillion again. Berkshire Hathaway is nipping at the heels. ExxonMobil is probably going to double in market capitalization in the next 24 months. I wouldn't be surprised even if MasterCard was worth $1 trillion in the next 24 months. And you mean to tell me that if these companies are going to double, Bitcoin can't? $50,000 increase on Bitcoin would put us at 125. It's coming. And if Bitcoin went to 125, your Bitcoin would increase in value by 67%. And by the way, the altcoins, the big ones, namely Ethereum, will probably do double what Bitcoin's looking at doing. Ethereum is looking great here, guys. Ethereum's looking fantastic. Jeb, that chart looks awful. You're right, it does. Which is why I love it. If you've got cash and you're wise, you're considering buying Ethereum right now. Am I telling you have to buy Ethereum? No, I'm not an RIA. I'm not a CFP. Thinking about becoming one, but I'm not one. I don't know if I want to be, because I'm not really that interested in actually giving you in financial advice and investment, calls. My job is to educate you. My goal is to teach you. My goal is to say, look, here's the knowledge. Here's the wisdom. Do this. Succeed with money. You can do it, man. I believe in you. Or on the flip side, if you're not being wise, you're being dumb. I love you. Stop that. If you put your hand on the stove one more time, it's going to hurt. If you don't breathe underwater, you're going to drown. If you drive towards a cliff, you're going to fall off of it. Sometimes we need someone to put it in black and white so we can understand just how far down the rabbit hole we've gone. My interest is to tell you that I've got laws of investment. I have laws of investment in the cryptocurrency market that I share with you. I'll read them to you here. There are 5 of them. That unless I'm following all 5 of these laws, I don't do it. Number 1, these are the 5 laws of investment in cryptocurrency. Number 1, never invest in something you don't understand. That is a broad law of investment in general. Never invest in something you do not understand. The flip side of that is understand the things that you want to invest in. If you want to invest in Ethereum, do your research. 2, only invest in assets that you reasonably expect will be worth considerably more in 5 to 7 years. I have a track record on ETH, which is why I'm saying that this is something you ought to look into right now. I've got a track record on ETH. If I go back 5 years, which I can, and actually say experientially what was going on because I was here. If you go back 5 years, Ethereum was sitting at $138. It's now sitting at $2,856. It's up 2,000% in 5 years. You want to go back 7 years? Oh man, it's even more crazy. Let's go back to when I got into the cryptocurrency space, which was roughly 7 years ago, right? You're looking at a 800% movement, right? Massive increase. Massive increase. On the weekly chart here, it's plain to see this uptrend right there. So what if Ethereum backtests and goes to $2,000? If you've been following our investment principles, then you have been following the fifth law of money, which is to save and invest. And so you've been saving cash. If Ethereum drops down to 2,000, happy freaking birthday, man. Quit your crying. You got the cake you asked for. If it drops down to $2,000, you get to buy more of it. Guys, I remember buying Ethereum down here at $200. And one day, you're going to remember, if you are wise, you're going to remember the day that you bought Ethereum at $2,000. Am I saying you're a fool for not buying it? No. Am I saying you have to buy it? No. Am I giving you a call here? No. Am I saying that it is something that you ought to seriously consider? I absolutely am, and you can quote me on it. You ought to consider it. You ought to think about it, and then you ought to make a decision for yourself. I'm not here to make a decision for you. I'm here to teach you. Ethereum is massively undervalued. Bitcoin's at all-time high. Ethereum's half that way. Bitcoin is worth $1.5 trillion. Ethereum is worth $340 billion. There's a lot more growth. If you're saying, I only want to buy something that I'm going to double my money in, well, please, first of all, buy Bitcoin. Consider it anyway. One of our laws of money is to invest down coin market cap. That's our fourth law of investment in cryptocurrency. Invest down coin market cap, starting with Bitcoin, then Ethereum, then altcoins like XRP or Solana or Ethereum. Well, not Ethereum, but Cardano, anything. Our third law of money, investment in cryptocurrency rather, is prefer to invest on a consistent and fixed schedule. Invest on a consistent and fixed schedule. We're going to buy Bitcoin and Ethereum every week. We're going to buy Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, and Cardano. We're going to do that every 2 weeks. Whatever it is, have a consistent fixed schedule. And 5, have a sophisticated, secure, and trustworthy custody solution. That's a very important law of cryptocurrency investment. So make sure you're doing those things in that order, and that is our principles of financial sovereignty being applied into crypto. That's one of the things I'm working on in FinSov Academy, is applying the principles of financial sovereignty, the financial sovereignty way, the laws of money, all of that into direct teaching in the cryptocurrency space, because I want to apply what we are learning in FinSov to Bitcoin directly, and those are 5 of those laws of investment in cryptocurrency, and I think that they will lead you in the direction of considering Ethereum as an investment choice. Number 1, never invest in something you don't understand. Number 2, only invest in assets you reasonably expect will be worth more in 5 to 7 years. I believe Ethereum, one of the few cryptocurrency assets that passes that test. 3, prefer to invest on a consistent and fixed schedule. 4, invest down coin market cap, starting with Bitcoin, then Ethereum, then altcoins. 5, have a sophisticated, secure, and trustworthy custody solution. If you do those things, I generally believe that you're going to build a very large portfolio in Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. And if you do that with discipline and consistency, then you're going to do a good job. All right, let's continue right along here. Ooh, we got a hater. Oh, we got one. Reeling him in. Come here, D. D is in chat. This guy is such a clown. Horrible channel. I love it. I love it when you get a hater, because the person spends the time to watch the stream and then just to say they hate it. Like, I don't do that. I don't know about you, D, but I don't have time for that. I'm way too busy with, having my wife and my kids and my business and my calling and serving my God who loves me. Like, I got way too much time. I got way too little time to be doing that. So what's going on in your life that you got time to be sitting in a channel you don't like? Like, do you need something to do? Do I need to put you to work? Do I need to give you some dishes to wash or something, buddy? Like, what's going on? If you have a concern, tell me. But I just think that's funny. I think that's absolutely hilarious. Wisdom equals knowledge applied. That's right. Absolutely. If we don't see a huge recession or depression, then fine, Jeb. Yep, obviously we could. And guess what? That's why I want you to have some cash. If we do drop down and S&P just tanks, okay, fine. Buy the freaking dip. It's all right. It's going to be fine. Sorry, Jeb, we were forming a head and shoulders pattern. Right shoulder is forming target 71.2. Yeah, and that could happen. Not convinced that it's going to, but it could. It could. 11.7 production said, here to give some Jesus fam love. Well, thank you very much for the donation. We appreciate that $5 donation. Appreciate that. Brock, can we talk altcoins today? Yeah, so Here are some of the altcoins that are performing well right now. Dogecoin's up a lot over the last 7 days. Cardano's up 8% over the last 7 days. I do think that we're going to see an altcoin season. I wanted to mention that. I do think we're going to see a big altcoin season, and I think you're going to see a lot of growth out of a lot of altcoins. It's not here yet, though. Bitcoin's got a big run coming. After Bitcoin's big run, then you're going to see a major run on the altcoins. But it's going to be in that order. Bitcoin, then altcoins. Bitcoin has its day, then the cubs eat. The lion, the king eats first, and then everybody else eats. That's the way that this works. That's the way that it works with Bitcoin. Bitcoin eats first, altcoins eat second, because they come in second after Bitcoin. And that's what we're seeing with Ethereum. Bitcoin's at and breaking all-time high. Ethereum's at a halfway of all-time high. Bitcoin is running away with it because it's got that ETF. The other altcoins don't yet. So it's in a league of its own, even more so than it was now, even more so than it was before, which is why we're sitting at 58% market dominance. Look at this. We're almost sitting at 60% market dominance. In the last 2 years, Bitcoin market dominance has exploded, which is consistent not with the second half of the bull market, but the first half of the bull market. You can see the altcoin dominance rallying, the Bitcoin dominance rallying greatly here up until moving on into 2020, into 2021, when the altcoins took off, then Bitcoin took a nosedive and the altcoins went wild. So there's going to be a big altcoin season. There are plenty of altcoins that are going to 10x. Don't want you to miss them. Want you to be consistently dollar cost averaging into the ones you believe in right now, because a big return is coming. Avalanche, Chainlink, those are great projects. Cardano's a great project. I want to see it perform better, but it is a great project. Uniswap, great project. Let's see. Internet Computer, one I hold. Big fan of that. Caspa is going to do well. There's a lot of value that's about to flow into the space. We're going to see some of these altcoins down here 10x. It's what the markets, the global equities market has run away so fast that there's now just so much more money available. It's wild. Okay. Hello, everyone. Hello, Jeb. Good morning to you, Crypto Surge. Happy to see you. Solana, yeah, I think Solana's going to do very well. I personally am not the biggest fan of Solana because Solana has a lot of inflation, but I do think there's a season coming where its rally is going to outpace its inflation. Okay. Well, appreciate all of you guys for tuning in. If you have not already, you need to go over to nordvpn.com/Jeb, and you need to sign up because NordVPN is the most important security hardware, most important security software, that you are going to be able to get access to, short of being in the military. It is incredible. NordVPN is going to protect your internet traffic so that you don't get hacked and thieves don't steal from you. There are people out there right now that are trying to hurt you. In case you're 3 years old and you don't realize that yet, stranger danger. When you're browsing online and you're walking down the street and you got no protection, nothing. You ain't got a pistol on you. Ain't got a knife on you. Ain't got nothing. You're walking through the bad side of town, and you're walking down there with a gold chain around your neck, and you're lanky like you've been playing video games for the last 10 years and need to drink some milk because your bones are fragile. That's what you're doing on the internet right now. You got a $100,000 bag of Bitcoin. You're about to lose it. Somebody's going to steal it from you. Jeb, are you fear-mongering? Yes, I am, because you're going to lose your freaking butt, and I don't want that to happen. You dang well ought to be afraid if you're exposed like that. You're walking through the bad side of town with a bunch of money hanging around your neck and you got no way of defending yourself. You ought to be afraid. Fear is not wrong in the right context. You should be scared, and the fear ought to motivate you to do something about it. And you're doing the same thing right now on the internet. You're browsing and people can see you, namely thieves. Sign up for NordVPN with the link in the description box down below, or by going to nordvpn.com/Jeb. Hit the big red button right here, get the deal, and you're going to get a deal because this is the least expensive way to get NordVPN, period. You're not going to find it anywhere else for less than this. This is the best deal you're going to find, and you get it for $327 a month for 28 months, $91.53. That's next to nothing, and it's going to protect you. If you were to get hacked in that time, you had NordVPN on and lose $100,000, you're going to hate your current self for not signing up for security hardware, or security architecture, that kept you safe and prevented that from happening. Sign up for NordVPN with their early bird discount for Black Friday with the link in the description box down below so that you can stay safe. Really appreciate you guys for signing up. Helps the channel. And I really think that it's going to make you guys safer. Ron Hart said, Jeb, caught the show. Good day, bud. Good day to you as well. Nirvana Republic said, Replica said, we're about to lift off. Yep. There is a big rally coming to Bitcoin. I am quite sure of that. In fact, we're even seeing some of it happening right now. Bitcoin is sitting here. It's been rallying quite a bit as we've been on stream here. It's at 75,660. Very exciting time. Very exciting time indeed. Very exciting time indeed. Stranger danger. Pew Pew Poom 2 said, Jeb, altcoin challenge. I'll put my altcoins up versus yours. You can if you want. I mean, I don't care. You probably, to be honest with you, Pew Pew Poom 2, you probably know more about altcoins than I do. You ought to call into the show one day and tell us what you think on that. My focus is not in altcoins. My focus is in wealth generation, and I believe that being consistent in something that I can trust is the most wise way of doing that. I'm not an altcoin speculator. Not to say there's anything wrong with it, because there's a lot of people that make a lot of money like that, but that's not what I do, and that's not what I've done to build my wealth. Again, nothing wrong with it. In step 9 of the FinSolve way, I tell people basically go invest and build wealth any way that you can within ethics and within morality and within your experience. So if you're very good at, weaving underwater baskets, you weave wicker baskets underwater, and then you turn them upside down and a fish swims in them, and you turn them back over and you sell the basket and it's got a fish in it. If that's what you're good at, and for some reason somebody's going to pay you some money for that, then fine. Go start your underwater basket weaving business. I didn't know you could actually make money with that. But if that's what you're good at, then do it. Now, if you're good at altcoin speculation, do it. Be out of debt, have a budget, have retirement investment, and don't forget Bitcoin and Ethereum, then do it. Just do it in the right order. Pew Poo Poom 2 said, just for funsies, Jebby, don't be a Debbie Downer. Oh, no, I didn't mean it like that. No, I know you're being fun. I would love that. That'd be great. You'll have to call into the show one day when we're able to take callers, and you can tell us all about it. I would love that. That sounds great. You've been a very, very loyal follower of the channel. Appreciate you for being here, my friend. Absolutely appreciate that. Let's read a little bit more chat here, and we're going to wrap it out. Guys, $125,000, $100,000, it's on its way. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. And that's basically just to catch up with inflation. There'll probably be more to come after that. We love Jeb. He's phenomenal at research. Been watching your channel for years. How's Optimism Token looking? I haven't looked at it recently. I know a lot of people that are optimistic on Optimism, but I'm just, right? I'm not personally an investor in it, so I wouldn't probably be the best person to ask. The one thing that makes me a little less optimistic is that it's still very young. I don't have a track record. I prefer to invest in things that I have a longer track record for. You can obviously buy in things that don't, right? Somebody made money buying Apple when Apple wasn't nothing. Somebody made money buying Apple in '84, right? Somebody right now is holding Apple stock that they bought 40 years ago, and they are very, very, very wealthy, and you've never heard of them. So you can do it. I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying that we want to follow the steps. We want to do that after we've kind of mastered the basics, right? I don't want you trying to do some kind of triple, quadruple backflip before you've figured out how to do, how to walk, right? I did it back. I do everything backwards, so I know that this is the wrong way to do it. I learned how to run, then I learned how to walk. I learned how to make a buttload of money, and then I figured out how to manage it. I do everything backwards. I really do. Before I figured out how to write a budget, before I figured out but before I figured out what a budget was, I'd already made several $1 million. I did it backwards. I do everything backwards, right? I just do it all backwards. Everything that I do is I do it backwards. So I'm trying to do it in the right order because it works better. But so we got to do things in the right order. A lot of people have got it backwards. They're investing in they're speculating, investing in altcoins, and they're racking up credit card debt. They are, they have no budget. They've not chosen to be financially sovereign. They live on more than they make, so they're heading for the cliff. They forgot to do retirement investment, which is very important. And they forgot to have a budget, right? So we forgot to be generous. We've just got to, it's not that I have anything wrong with altcoin speculation, it's that we got to do it in the right order. And if you're just getting into wealth building, you need to back up, complete the basics, then do that. That's awesome. Do it. Follow the financial sovereignty way. Go through the Financial Sovereignty Academy. They'll be coming out very soon. And then add on top of that, as the icing, altcoin speculation and investment. It's what little children do. They don't want to eat the cake; they just eat the icing, right? We got to eat the actual cake. We don't want to just eat dessert. We got to eat the actual meat and potatoes, because that's how we're going to build a strong portfolio. If your portfolio consists of no stocks, lots of debt, and only altcoins, that's not going to make the kind of wealth that you think it will. What will build wealth is disciplined and consistent acquisition in assets that you reasonably expect will be worth more in 5 to 7 years while being out of debt, operated through a budget for years on end. That's how you do it. And if you want to do that, you're also going to need a few accounts. One of the accounts that I want you to sign up for is Uphold. I love Uphold. We interviewed the CEO of Uphold. Go back, watch that interview. It was fantastic. Uphold is an excellent cryptocurrency exchange, and they've got access to something called USD interest here, which is a wonderful account where you are able to generate 4.9% APY on your USD balance. It's good to hold some cash so that you can deploy it into the market. It's good to hold some cash in case the market crashes. And this is where I want you to hold it, in Uphold's USD interest account. But it's not just Uphold USD interest that I want you to pay attention to. It is also a phenomenal exchange of exchanges. It ties in through API to a bunch of other exchanges, which means it can pull all kinds of different markets that you wouldn't have on a large exchange like Uphold. Uphold's a very large exchange. You come to the transparency here, they're dealing with a few $1 billion. They've got about $3 billion in reserves. A pretty large company, pretty large exchange. It's one of the larger exchanges, but they also have the benefits of some of our very small, very small exchanges, because they tie into those other exchanges. So if you want Casper, or if you want some of these other altcoins that are very small, Uphold's the place to go, where you have all the benefits that you could need of self-custody, TradFi, DeFi, wide range of coins. It's just a very important account for you to set up in your journey in the cryptocurrency space. So make sure to do so with the link in the description box down below. I hope you guys have enjoyed today's stream. I really appreciate you all being here. It means a lot to me, and I hope that you have been able to be blessed and have been able to grow some today by what we've talked about. Look forward to it. We've got a big rally coming, guys. Bitcoin is going to appreciate a lot. You're going to appreciate that you follow the FinSov way and set yourself up to build wealth. Very much looking forward to what you're all going to be able to accomplish. If you enjoyed today's stream, make sure to hit that like button, and we're going to go ahead and wrap it out. Stay tuned for more content. And also, one big shout out. I'm looking to expand the company once again. I am looking for an editor and a social media manager in one. Somebody that can edit our videos, both for our academies, for the YouTube channel, and also manage our social media profiles. So if you're somebody who has experience in that, I'm not looking for somebody who does not have experience in that. I don't have the ability to train you on the job, because I need you to come in with the expertise and teach me some things. But if you have expertise in that, you have a resume, feel free to send us an email. You can send it directly to my email, jebmcafee@cryptojeb.com. I would love to see it. We don't know when exactly we're going to be doing this expansion, but I am looking into it. Somebody that can help me remake a new intro for the stream, help me make lower thirds, just anything that has to do with graphic design, social media management, and quite a lot of video editing. I don't really, I do rough outlines of all my content, and then I do a very, very, very detailed outline, but it's still just an outline of the FinSov Academy content, and I'm editing it right now, and it's amazing. I cannot wait for it. It's pure, unadulterated gold. Jeb, you're being proud. I'm sorry. It's just good. I'm watching, I'm like, man, this is good stuff. I can't wait for people to get this. But I'm able to, because that's how I do it. I'm teaching from the heart, right? I do a stream every day. I didn't plan what I was going to say today. We just kind of sat down like, okay, let's talk. Let's do this. I'm able to just crank out content like that. So like that. And I need somebody that can edit it as fast as I'm able to crank it out, right? So I need a really competent editor. Shout out to anybody who is, that is your job, looking for probably at least a part-time position, maybe even a full-time position. So go ahead and shoot us an email if that's you. Attach a resume. Attach, if you have references, let me know. If you have any portfolio, let me know. I'm looking for someone that's got a lot of experience who's pretty good. We have the budget to really get somebody really good. So go ahead and send us anything you have. Really appreciate all of you guys. Before I go, I do just first want to thank each and every single last one of you for watching, as always. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.